Thank you so much for joining us today for our Journey to Success series. My name is Sim. I'm the head of content here at Unlimit. We're so grateful to have you on board. Could you please just jump straight into it, kick us off with a bit about yourself, who you are, and how you've landed here at inDrive?
Of course, I'll be happy to. Well, my name is Sardana, and I currently serve as the Vice President of Operations at inDrive, which is a global IT and transportation platform. In my current role, I have the privilege to oversee critical operations and functions that contribute to supporting business growth worldwide. It's very challenging, yet very rewarding position. I also serve as a jury at Aurora Tech Award. It is this is award that recognizes and celebrates the achievements of women founders in the tech startup world. It's an initiative that I'm deeply committed to, and our company inDrive has founded that. I'm very passionate about women leadership. In my spare time, I try to invest into my team members, especially women, or another team members in our company who would request some one-to-one sessions, so I can help them to understand their full potential and unleash it, so they can boost their career growth, become more confident, because it's something that I had to go through that myself personally. So if I can give back, those incredible women helped me to become who I am now, and still helping me to learn and grow. If I can give that back to someone else, someone younger, basically myself 10, 15 years ago, that gives me a lot of pleasure. Outside of work, I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm actually expecting my second child, which might happen very soon. And my hobby is horse riding, but I'm still very much a novice horse rider. I've been trying to horse ride for the last 2 years, but I haven't done a lot of progress there as in my my career and professional life.
That's incredible. I mean, firstly, congratulations. That's so
Thank
beautiful.
you.
And also, goodness, you are doing a lot. How you find the time? Like, you must just not sleep. No wonder you look so fresh and daisy, for the fact that you said it's like 9 a.m. where you are.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Well, I try to sleep, but working as an executive for a global company, and I manage a team, incredible and a very diverse team, with more than 100 people from the Americas to APEC. That require you to be kind of online and in touch with your team in a very strange and not very traditional 9 to 5 hours. So I would say that comes with a lot of lack of sleep, for sure. But when you do something that you really love and you work with incredible people, and and also if that's very mission driven, there's a purpose. How I would say in Japan, Ikigai, you have this Ikigai, the mission for something more than some positive purpose in your life, and you can do that in your job. That gives you a lot of energy, and that's one of my fuel, how I manage it. But it's been like this all my career life. Going back to your first question, how I landed at inDrive in a tech, I came from very different background. I started my career actually in travel industry. So this is my in inDrive in general in the IT tech. I would say it's my second career. Even when I was a very student, I landed a job as a baggage porter, like at ski resort in Japan. I was a student, exchange students in Japan, and attended college there. And as a lot of international students, you still need some money to support yourself. So I landed this job, and that made a very left significant impact on me, because I realized and I witnessed that how customer service is considered an art in Japan. It's not a job. It's not just a service. It's an art. And I was fortunate to learn from some of the best professionals in the field. For instance, they teach me how to be invisible among your customers. How can you walk being unnoticed in the lobby, in a reception? How can you anticipate your guests' needs and questions even before they ask you? Or they come to you. And they even told me, if you're standing in the lobby as a hotel staff and a customer comes to you and asks the questions, it means that you have failed in your job. And that really shaped my understanding how the customer service should work. And I instantly developed a true passion for exceptional customer service, for travel industry. And the first thing what I did when I graduated from college, I went back to my hometown and I landed the job in a travel agency that had one mission. We need to attract more people to our rural area and promote travel industry so we can help the local entrepreneurs to generate cash, so that will bring them very social economic boost in their areas. I travel around my homeland. I work with a lot of people, and I would generally basically go somewhere in the middle of nowhere and ride a husky or dog sledding in the middle of a winter storm. I will one time I got lost in the middle of a taiga, and I had to wait for about an hour when the search team will come and find me. But then eventually I realized that somehow naturally started landing more leadership roles. First I started managing people, staff, personnel. Then I started managing sales. Then gradually the management team promoted me to head of sales, and that means that you stuck in the office. You start working in the office, and that's when I realized that leadership role is something that I want to work towards to, but I need to go out there into the world because I need to explore what is there. And I mentioned a short story that when I was 10 years old, I visited London for the first time in my life, which blew my mind. I realized that world is so big and I need to go out there. So I landed a job offer in Japan as a translator, because actually I was trained to be a professional translator from Japanese into Russian and English, which I studied at college for 6 years. So I moved to Japan. But my try to become a translator there failed. I very quickly realized that that is not my gig. So I went back to the travel industry. But now instead of promoting my homeland, I was promoting this wonderful country of Japan, and not specifically like very famous places, but only rural places of Japan that a lot of even Japanese wouldn't go to travel. And I spent 10 years in Japan in the travel industry, and that was my first career. But what happens a lot of the time when you work, especially in travel industry in the customer service, and you spend there more than 10 years, some people burn out. And I was one of them. I burnt out. And one of the reasons was that I lost that connection with the travelers, because when you manage some boutique agency that caters specific to some certain clients, my job was basically 24/7 in the office, trying to juggle and organize and manage all the operations. And I wasn't there out in the field. A lot of guides, a lot of our personnel that directly work with the customers, they're very fortunate to have these interactions with their clients, with their customers. There's this emotions, there's that, the vibe going on. So they give back a lot, but they also get back a lot. But when you're stuck in the office, mostly what you do is just only give, and you unfortunately don't get that source of energy, that fuel your passion anymore. So that's when I made a very hard decision to leave travel industry and change careers. But I didn't change only careers, I also changed my location, and I moved with my family to United States. And I was between two paths. Either I go to law school, or I try to explore IT tech world, because tech and IT always fascinated me. And I was one of them like 15 years ago who thought IT is something really rocket science, and probably it's not for me. You probably need to go to college, get an IT degree, and all these yada stories. There's a lot of people, young people especially, tell themselves that, oh, there's no way I can get there. That was one of them 15 years ago. But when I, after career in travel industry, I thought, I can do it. I can do it. And but life brings you a lot of surprises. I realized that when I was in the midst of actually almost applying for law school, and in the midst of job hunting in the travel industry, I was looking into some companies that combine IT and travel industry. I, by luck and chance, met incredible people who are the founder of inDrive, Arsen Tomsky. I met few of the key executives at inDrive, and they had a project. They had specific need in specific time, and I was there to get that project get done for them. I helped them to relocate the headquarters to the Silicon Valley, and I was in the United States, and I was the best person that could do it really fast. And that project turned into full-time position as vice president of operations. And since then, I've been with them for more than 4 years. And a lot of time I still feel and live those emotions that I had 15 years ago when I was riding dog sledding towards winter storm, when you are like so excited, you're so scared, but you truly get like that drive. That's how I landed in IT and inDrive.
Gosh, that's incredible. Like, what a transition. I don't even know what to say about it, because it's such a phenomenal journey, and you've had so much exposure and you've had so many learning opportunities. But the fact that you've managed to achieve so much, and also in a relatively short time window as well. Like, I know it may sound like a long time, but it's not. Like, that's a phenomenal journey to be on. It's amazing. Like, that's a massive kudos to you.
Thank you.
And of course, I know that you've mentioned earlier on about how you have a real passion for supporting people and you use a lot of your time to mentor people. And where you are doing so many things and you are trying to also adhere to your own like life goals that may be outside of work and your own work passions as well, how do you find and maintain inspiration and passion professionally?
Well, I personally try to find inspiration and passion from inside and from outside. It's from inside. I always try to set for myself a goal, like more clear. The clearer your goal is better, and vision. Who I want to become, where do I want to be, why I'm doing this, what is my purpose. A lot of time I practice this small routine that I recommend everyone. Tell story yourself, or imagine the story in your head, and try to do it in a great detail. A lot of people tell me, you go really into the details, but details is something that I really love to craft in my head or in my stories. Where am I in 1, 3, 5, 10 years? What I'm doing exactly right now, what I'm wearing, what I'm eating, and what is the view from my window, and I try to feel this moments. That practice keeps me really focused on my short or long-term objectives in my professional life, and not only professional, even in my personal life, I practice this as well. And I also make a conscious effort to remind myself why I'm on this journey. Because a lot of the times when we in the process, when we're very busy, we are under a lot of pressure, especially in IT, in a very fast-paced environment, and everything's going on in the world, especially in the last 3 years, you start to losing sometimes yourself. You start to losing that focus. So it's really hard. It's really important to me understand why, and it's very essential. I think 10 years in Japan crafted that feeling in me, because Japanese always have the Ikigai, the purpose of their existence of their life. Then I need to maintain those my passion, and I actively seek external opportunities that will align with my goal and my Ikigai, my purpose. That includes in my job, taking more interesting projects, embracing to new challenges. If there's a task and I don't know how to do that, my team doesn't know how to do that, I would say, let's do it. We don't know how to do that, but we'll figure out. So it's constantly seeking those opportunities for learning and development. And I found that this external experiences not only fuel my passion, but they also provide the practical means to make a progress towards my goals, my vision of my own version. That's how I find it, and that's how I maintain this passion as a professional.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing. It sounds almost as if you just find different ways to almost ground yourself, because it's easy to get lost in the speed and the technicalities of things. I love that. That's wonderful. So if we move on slightly to our next question, what do you think are some of the most important skills in being a successful team leader that wants to be able to create change in a positive way in a professional environment?
I personally divide team leaders into two categories. That's just how I do in my head. They are founders and visionaries. They inspire masses to follow them. They change the world. And they are the second category, which are tactical leaders that make the visionary, the founder dreams come true. So I identify myself personally as a second type of leader. And I could respond to your question from that perspective, because being successful team leader, there's a key word here is a team. And to drive positive change in a professional environments, that would require from that tactical team leaders, the people who make things happen, very simple and very standard set of skills. First is your communication skill is really important. How you communicate clearly, how you build a relationship with your team, with your stakeholders, with your partners, how you understand the vision and goals that your founder, visionary wants you and your team to achieve. That's really critical. Second is, as a team leader, you need to be a very strong strategic thinking. You need to learn, and you need to know how to break down the very great idea, a very large vision, into very specific actionable steps and strategies. There's a dream. Okay, there's this 10 pages of a plan how we're going to make that dream happen. That's really important. Third is team building. Leader without a people, leader without team members is, in my opinion, nothing. One person cannot change the world. One person cannot make the big dream happen. You need a people. You need a team that would be essential in overall everyone's success in one goal that you try to achieve. So you really need to learn how to choose right team members, how you can boost their skills, how you can foster collaborations within your team, and probably one of the most important is how you're going to resolve those conflicts that when they arise, and they will arise. And conflicts is something is positive as well, because without, if there's no conflict within one team, for me, it's suspicious. And as a team, you need to also, a team leader, you need to learn things like delegations. Obviously, it's very important. Your time management is very important. How do you adapt to the changes or certain circumstances? Because especially in this world for the last 10 years, the pace of how things change is so fast. I was in a business school where we were looking at the cases such as undergraduate students that attended college for 4 years and studying something in a specific computer science or IT or engineering. By the time they graduate, all the knowledge they have been studying will be not applicable when they go to the market and learn, because the pace is so fast. The people are incredible, amazing. We moving the progress so fast, sometimes very hard to adapt. But team leader has to do that. One day did one job, next day they tell that everything has changed, redo it, make it happen again, but different approach. Another, what I would probably add, maybe last one, is skill as a resilience. Challenges, problem, conflicts, or even setbacks that under your control, and a lot of time not under your control, will be part of any task, any project. And sometimes it can really hit you hard. But if you build resilience within your core skills, that will allow you to not only bounce as a team leader, but it will help you to help your team to bounce as well. Because I've seen so many projects when if a team leader not resilient enough, and he or she is guiding dozens of people a team, if the team sees that team leader is not resilient and disappointed or even lost, that affect the whole team. Overall, as a leader, you need a lot of skills to learn, but most of them, if you notice, are soft skills. Because team leaders is not about being experts in one certain things and be professionals. That will be like high performers, experts, principals in something. But for me, team leader needs to have really good soft skills that would help her or him to lead a team towards their success.
Thank you. That was an amazing answer. And I think it's just really a testament to the sort of leader that you are as well, because you're right. So many of those were soft skills. And I think sometimes, particularly in like more technical industries like IT, fintech, finance, people can almost forget when you're looking from the outside in that there is such a dire need also for that soft skill, because you are still working with individuals. So you highlighting that is phenomenal, because it is so true. Being on the inside, we always see it. And I think everyone, like what you've touched on, is very important, because you're showcasing how, as a leader, you are going to deal with so many different personalities. And to be that sort of leader, you need to cultivate and almost mold yourself to fit, to be able to communicate and talk to different people.
Yes, absolutely right. You know, my little boy, he's only 6, but I work from home, so he watches me a lot, especially during the COVID. And when he is last year, when someone asked me, "What does your mommy do for job?" and he said, "Oh, her job is to make compromises every day."
Oh, that's actually so profound for such a young child. That's amazing.
And she also does a lot of this and a lot of la 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 la. Yes. Yeah, of course, you need a lot of knowledge, expertise, and experience that you have to build. But those skills that I've listed, it's something that basically anyone can learn who wants to become a manager, leader. You don't need to know like how to make a financial model. You can be a team leader who hires someone who is really good at that financial modeling, and that will be a team member, and you can bring another one. Sometimes in another analogy is that team leader is someone who can ace the skill to build a Lego really fast and very efficiently. There will be so many parts in front of you, and you can build anything. You can build something that is clearly as an instruction, or if someone tell you, build me something similar but better and nicer, and maybe you can have a little bit more independence at your own things, and that's the leader to me. And I try to learn and develop myself towards that category. And I'm very fortunate that I have a really inspiring visionary founder that I can contribute with my team, making that vision, making that dream happen, and become a reality in this world.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's really beautiful. So it sort of relates quite well, but so far in your journey, in your professional journey and becoming like VP, what is a key lesson that you have learned along this journey that you would like to share with our audience?
Well, first lesson I learned is take a risk and own it, because risk comes with consequences. It can be high reward or it can be disaster. No matter what is the outcome, you have to be ready mentally for both, and just own it. I had career choices that turned into disaster, but I also had career choices that become high reward. I had this opportunity, cases like that in my career too, that I could look back and wonder, if I wouldn't chicken out then, where would I be now? But I try not to. I just try to brush it off. So that's why my key first lesson I learned by myself: take a risk. If it's not very critical to you and your family, there's of course different circumstances, but it's fun. It's fun. It's scary, but it's something that I would recommend, especially young professionals. What you can lose, right? Then second lesson I learned that throughout your career, you hear a lot of no. That can really discourage you. But the lesson I learned, you can use that no and take it as a step towards to your final end game. Because even when you're job hunting, every single no is a step towards that final yes. So take each no as a step forward towards your end game. That's the second lesson I've learned so far, and think I would like to share with your audience and my team members.
I adore that. Thank you so much. I think they're both fantastic. Again, like sort of looking at your current position and just the fact that you've had such a fulfilling already career pathway, and not to say that it's anywhere near completion because it doesn't sound like it is. And also you're in such a diverse organization. You've said how they are global, and inDrive is incredibly successful and it's a very well-known brand. How do you find the time, and how do you find a work-life balance for yourself where you're still having time to fulfill your needs and your emotions and be a mom and be a friend?
Yes, work-life balance is something that I'm still researching and still experimenting. But I came to yes, because it will be much easier if I would be a single, hardworking woman, and then of course there will be there will be still work-life balance, because outside of work there's so many things that you can do, so many things that are interesting. But in my particular case, as I mentioned, I'm a working mom and I'm a wife, and I work in a very demanding and fast-paced IT environment. I'm expecting my second child soon, and my answer is not that I figure out how to balance work and life, but there are few tips that I could give. Well, any parent that is have a question how to balance this. But well, one, what I've learned is simply you need to prioritize your sleep, because if you don't have enough sleep for a very long time, your Lego yourself start like breaking into the parts. I went through that where I have a period of time where for a very long time, that's not even months, it's for years, I slept maybe between 4 and 6 hours. Now it's very hard. And now looking back, I see that if you don't have the resources physically, and we are all humans, we are not robots. Unfortunately, we have to function, and we're like an engine in a car that over time getting older and rusty and work less and less, and eventually just stop working. So the prioritize the sleep. When you have these physical resources and you can think clearly if you sleep more, then you can start to like trying to balance. And the balance is I think, in my opinion, is trying to do as much as you can in every aspect of your life, at work and in your life. For instance, if a mom, a lot of people expect that you take care of your child, you read your child, you always put your child to the bed, you're always there for your child. I can't be there all the time because there's just only 24 hours a day, and I have a work, and I have other things to do, and I have a family. So I try to give as much as I can, but at the same time, not being too hard on myself. Sometimes I have evening calls and I cannot put my child to sleep, but I'll try to find a carve times on the weekends so I can do that. Same thing at the work. Work would always demand more and more and more because it's just how it works. So you need to learn how to prioritize. And if you see that you can't do and you cannot put 200% of yourself into this project or your task, it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to make this task and perform it as a okay and good instead of great, perfect. If it's done, it's making impact. It's in time and it's good. It will go. It's okay too. You don't have to be perfect anywhere. You try to be perfect in all the aspects. So that's what I learned, and I try to practice myself, because I realized at some point, if I try to be perfect here, I'll just crack that. That's how I try to balance it. Although I don't like this word, because balance means that trying to get a compromise. But my more approach is do what you can, as much as you can, here and here and here, but at the same time, don't be too hard for yourself. And for that, you need a lot of resources, and that resources come from well resting. If for some people 6 hours is enough, it's good. For me, at this point, 6 hours is not enough anymore.
I don't think it's enough for me either.
I used to be 4 hour sleeper, but now no, I can't do that.
4 hours.
4 hours sleep, yes.
Oh my goodness.
But now at least I need like between 6, 7. I can do that. The odd time is, of course, when something happens. There's a crisis. You have to put out the fires. That's okay to live on that pace, but it's not sustainable to do that a very long time and consistency. The consistency needs to be that you overall rested, so you have a resources that you can give that and impact your work, and give that impact life with your family, with your friends, with your hobbies.
Absolutely. No, thank you for sharing that. I think my favorite part of everything you were saying was you kept sort of reinforcing the fact, like, not to be hard on yourself. And I think especially for like working generations, there's often this misconception that success is impaired with perfectionism, essentially, and that you constantly have to be on form and just optimal in the way you're working, in efficiency, in output. But I think a lot of the time, from when I've spoken to so many incredible people like yourself, some of the most common themes that I'm seeing are people actually talking about the fact that the mistakes they've made and allowing themselves to have room to make mistakes and learn from that is actually far more inspiring for them and has helped them accelerate even further.
Yes, correct. Mistakes, I believe each profession should experience. Mistakes gives you such an emotional reset, especially when you realize that that some mistake was your mistake as a professional. It gives you sometimes this realization that you're not a perfect, you made a mistake, but the most important, you need to focus on the solution. Yes, you need to analyze why that happened, especially if that happens again over and over and over. That's not a mistake, that's a pattern that you should work on. But then try to focus on solution moving forward. How can I resolve this, and how I can make sure that that not won't happen in the future. Without a mistake, it's like power is corruptive. Is if you move forward really like without any turbulence, any challenges and any mistakes, you, as I mentioned before, you start a little bit losing yourself. You might get, there's a risk you might get in the circle bubble, in your own bubble, that you might think that I don't make mistakes. But that's not true. If not you personally make a mistake as a professional, someone from your colleagues or your team members can make that mistakes. But that's still your mistake as well, because you need to share accountability, especially if within your team and you're a leader, that you have to share that mistakes. It's a constant process of learning, I guess, and constant process of development. Just most importantly, like not to make same mistake more than 3 times.
Yeah, I think that's very sound advice. So actually, on the topic of advice, my next question for you is about the fact that we're seeing more and more people entering the fields of tech and IT. And we're seeing people, I know you mentioned earlier as well about how you felt that you had to have the right qualification, like an IT qualification, but now we're in a very prime position where some people are realizing you don't actually have to have those direct correlation qualifications. What message would you like to share with young professionals, particularly those who are entering our industries?
Well, first thing is how you mentioned is not to be afraid to try. Basic line is IT is not rocket science unless you're actually building a rockets that you're gonna launch to Mars. That's what probably you need to go and get some degree in engineering and rocket science. In general, IT, it's I look at it as a huge dish that consists of so many ingredients, and they are so different. There's a HR, there's a legal, there's a business development, there's sales, there's marketing, there's operations, then R&D, many things. That's because IT, it can be software technology company, that could be totally different products or industry as well. So basically, IT is just industry that attracts a lot of different, the diverse professionals. So when, let's say, you have a very entry-level professionals who has an experience only in administrative tasks or operations, still you can get into the operations within the IT company that your role with supporting business. That's one of the biggest my team that I have. I manage administrative functions such as facility management, travel, procurement, IT support team. That basically their job is to do very specific things within the IT, and they support the business growth. There are team members who I would call rangers, the sales heroes, the people who are business developers who go out there and sell our product and generate cash. They can be applied not only IT, they can go and with their skills, with their experience, they can go and sell something else. Or they can, yesterday they were selling, let's say, TV at the retail. Today they can come join to IT and sell IT products. So don't be scared only with the word IT is something that only for software engineers, even become a software engineers. I haven't seen so many incredible stories online when people just learn online, they crave those textbooks, they learn coding, and then they become software engineers without even degree, because they just build, they have a goal, they study, they learn, they try, they go, they get in, and then they develop their path towards their career growth. So don't be afraid. Don't think that, oh, if I come from customer service, retail, travel industry, fashion, that won't get there. Anyone can get it. That's the beauty of tech space relative compared, let's say, to healthcare industry. Second is be proactive and actually do things. Try to find a job descriptions. Try to understand what they want. Try to identify what I have and what I don't have. And if you see some job post in IT in a dream company, let's say you want to work for this startup, or you want to even work for this big enterprise, and you want to just get into, a lot of people get discouraged when they see requirements and they think, I don't have these qualifications, I don't have this experience, I will not. Still try. The worst, well, you'll get automatic email saying thank you for your interest, but no. The best thing will happen to you. Let's have a chat. And with this, every single chat and every single meetings you will have, you will shape your understanding that those job posts, a lot of the times, there's something that hiring manager really desire and is ideal. That's a dream person they want to get. What happens in the reality a lot of times, hiring managers compromise, and they understand they might not find someone exactly as described in this, but they can see potential in someone and give a job. That happens to me. I didn't come with the extensive experience as a vice president of operations the previous, But I believe that my superiors, my management board, saw potential in me. They believe in me, and then I got into that gig in IT, and they constantly investing in my development as well. And you realize that wasn't actually so scary. So that would be my advice. Don't be scared. Don't be discouraged. And second, just be proactive. Try, because the harder and more you try, as I mentioned before, the each no will be get you closer to your final yes.
I love that. Thank you so much. And the most exciting thing about that is because you are literally living proof of it, that you've like reached out, you've extended, you've gotten the position, you're thriving. It's amazing. So that actually brings us on to our last question, and it is something that I like to ask everyone who joins this series, and it's quite open-ended, but you are able to answer it however you like, and that is, how do you define success?
To me personally, success is about something in the future I want to achieve, and that would be state of my mind and how I feel in the moment. To me, it's freedom, that you can choose your, let's say, hypothetically, in 10, 15 years, I want to be at that state of mind where I can choose what I want to do in my career, who I want to work for. Do I want to work for myself? Do I want to work for someone else? What exactly I want to do? Do I want to do this particular job, or I want to do something very different? Do I want to work 100-hour a week? Do I want to work 10 hours a week? That's, for me, is ultimate professional freedom. That is my success, which I'm striving for, and I want to achieve someday. It might happen faster, it might happen later, but I try not to too much focus on getting there as fast as I can, like a KPI. I want to still enjoy the process where I get there. But if I would also say what is success now, to me, it's two things. Is one, satisfaction inside of myself that I'm doing something very meaningful with my team and where I am now. That could be my company, or that could be anything as a professional, that doesn't contradict with my values and my personal views. And second is that my team is thriving. If I can see my team members growing, they're happy, they make an impact on a business, they are satisfied. For me, it's another indicator of my personal professional success, because I chose a path to be a manager, a leader. I didn't choose a path to become expert in one particular field. So for me, it's I'm happy inside, and that my team is happy as well. If those two indicators, 1 + 1 = 2, that's for me is success now, in the moment, in the everyday my life. But in very global scale, yes, for me success is something that you can choose in the future. You can have a freedom as a professional, but for some people it's very different. Everyone, I think, define their success. My success is something customized to me. So because if I am a person who is conscious, aware, and responsible individual, part of the society, I think we can all together just make this world around us a better place, instead of trying to chase something that is declined to us by someone, by some establishment, and we're all trying to really work hard on to achieve something that might not be suitable to us. That would be my response.
No, thank you. I do love that, and I agree. I think it is very unique and it is very bespoke to every single person. But I think the great thing about it is it can also really feed into what motivates people to carry on. And I think one of the reasons I absolutely adore asking this to everyone is because as professionals, everyone still has their own human aspiration and what drives them and gets them up every day. And I think it's really important to show that, because it shows people that even if people were to have the same job title, they have very different motivations behind that to get them where they are and what keeps them going every single day. So thank you for your honesty. That actually rounds off our time together. I can't believe how quickly it's gone. I am so grateful to you for carving out some time to speak with me and Unlimit. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate your time and your contribution. And it's just phenomenal. It's amazing to see everything you're doing. And congratulations again on being a mum. And I just hope everything continues to thrive for you. And I can't wait to see everything you're still doing.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure. And even this session was very, I know, like learning opportunity, because it's very important that when someone asks you these questions, because you a lot of time forget to ask yourself, when someone asks you and you provide an answer, you can also look at yourself from the side and, oh yes, it's really inspiring me as well. It's just really great exercise, reminding myself what are my core values, what is my focus, what really makes me thrive and drives me for in my career and in my work. And I really appreciate that for that opportunity as well.
Oh, bless you. It's honestly, it's my pleasure. It's so incredible to hear your story, and I love doing this. It's amazing. Like, your background's just phenomenal. But
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have an amazing day. Take care.
You too. Have an evening.